Alright, hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Casey, and today's video is, well, basically the only intention that I have behind it is this video is for those of you who are feeling uncertain. I want to seek to bring you the truth of your situation, of, what's going on in your life. Maybe you're uncertain how somebody feels about you. Maybe you're uncertain about the steps forward along your path. Whatever it is, I know that there's no feeling worse than uncertainty or fear or just not really knowing. And so even if the truth isn't necessarily what you wanted to hear, I want to bring you the truth. But I do think that for the majority of you, the truth is going to be confirmation of your intuition. I just think that sometimes, fear, our ego, pride, whatever will get in the way and it'll be hard to hear our intuition. And so I want to seek to bring you the truth of whatever you're uncertain of so that you can feel more certain, basically. So that is what today's reading is going to be all about. So today I have 3 different readings for you to choose from. We have pile 1 with the hematite, pile 2 with the clear quartz, and pile 3 with the tiger's eye. So go ahead and pause, figure out which reading you feel most drawn to. There will be timestamps down in the description box below so you can quickly jump to whichever reading that you want to listen to. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, pile 1. If you chose the hematite, then this is the reading for you. I just want to start by saying that I really resonate with your pile. Like, honestly, this could be a pile that's meant for me. Sometimes I often find that when I sit down to do these readings, the first reading that comes out is usually about like exactly what I'm going through, which is weird because it's kind of like a reading of what I need to hear, but I'm also telling you what you need to hear. So I hope that it helps you feel heard to know that, I am also going through exactly what you're going through. I understand you, and I'm here to help. So today what I'm seeing for you is you have a lot of fears about not reaching the goals or the success that you want to reach. And you quite literally have a card that says guaranteed success. And what I want to tell you is, from our human perspective of just moving through time linearly, we don't really know what the future holds. But we do know all of our fears, and we project a lot of those fears on, if it's not going at this speed, or if it hasn't hit this deadline yet, then it might never happen, or because it didn't happen in this order, that means that this thing is going to happen. And the truth is, we don't actually know what's going to happen. Even me as a tarot reader, I can only give you like the most likely scenario of what's going to happen, the most likely outcome given current situations. But I'm never going to be able to predict the exact future. Maybe some people can. I personally, I'm never going to guarantee that. But we like to get in our heads and let our fears run rampant and think, because this thing has been taking 6 months instead of 3, that means that maybe it's never going to happen. And what I want to tell you is success is going to come. But it's not going to come on the timetable that you want, which I know is infuriating, and it's hard to have patience, especially when we have things going on in our life that we think, God, this would be so much easier if everything could just happen on the timetable that I want. But what I want you to know is it's not happening on your timetable for a good reason. Things will happen in the exact order of divine timing because it is in your best interest that it happens that way and not the way that we little humans want it to. And that is something that it really took me a long time to learn and accept. And there's times still where I'm even like, God, why can't it happen when I want it to happen? But I have to remember it's happening for an even better reason, happening later on down the line. And I just really want to give you this assurance that you quite literally have the star card that says guaranteed success. You will reach the success that you're wanting, but it's going to happen when it happens, and that's not up to you. And so you stressing about the future outcome or when it's going to happen, when you're going to reach success, when you're going to reach the financial wealth that you're trying to attain, worrying about when it's going to happen is just going to stress you out. It's not going to make it happen any faster. In fact, the best thing that you can do for yourself right now is just take care of yourself. You have this card in the middle, the Small Steps, Big Accomplishments card, and I'm going to get to that later because I want to read from the guidebook for you. But I already know what this card talks about. It's the card about the turtle, the sea turtle. If you think about sea turtles, as an animal. Not wake up, they're born extremely small, far away on the sand. In their minds, that's basically like a marathon that they need to run. And there's predators coming at them, and they need to take their tiny little fins or flippers or whatever they're called, and they need to get out all the way to the ocean. And then once they get to the ocean, now they gotta deal with the waves, not to mention the predators that are still trying to get at them. And so if a little baby turtle saw this and was like, oh God, it's so far away, it's gonna take so long, I can't do this, then there would probably be no sea turtles. But instead, that sea turtle knows every little step is progress forward. It doesn't matter if that step is literally an inch because of how small they are. They are still just, one flipper in front of the other. So I feel like what this card is trying to tell you is, even if you think that things are happening at a snail's pace, even if you think that it's not happening fast enough that it's going to be possible or it's never going to happen, I want you to know every second, every step forward, even every setback is all pushing you closer towards your goals. Your goals, your success, it is guaranteed. It is going to happen. But you have to know that, well, I was going to say patience is key, but it's going to come whether or not you have patience. But I think it's going to be a lot easier on you if you can learn to have patience. And I think that's going to be your biggest obstacle of all of this, is your mental attitude throughout all of this. You could be like that little sea turtle, and in your mind the entire time you could be thinking, God, another step and I'm still not there. Another step and I'm still not there. Another day, I'm still not where I want to be. Or you could be that little sea turtle and be like, you know what? Another step, all I gotta do is do another step, and it'll happen when it happens. I'll get to the sea when I get to the sea. But what my job is to put one foot in front of the other. So that's up to you. The thing that you have control over right now is your attitude. It's the way that you speak to yourself. It's the way that you move through life. You don't have control over when it happens. I hate to break it to you. You don't have control over when you reach success. You have control over whether or not you take certain opportunities. You have control over what kind of attitude that you want to have. But when you reach the actual success that you're yearning for, that's up to the universe. That's up to God. That's up to divine timing. And so don't stress yourself out worrying about that. Instead, focus on, how can I have the best possible attitude today? Even though I'm not yet where I want to be, how can I have the best possible attitude today so that today's step forward feels energizing instead of the weight that I'm dragging behind me, Because a step forward, you could think about it two ways. You could think of it as, yes, another step closer to my goal. Or you could think, oh, that hurt my muscles so much. Ugh, this is so exhausting. But it's up to you what attitude that you have. Now, you have quite a few cards here, so I'm going to try to go in order. But the next card that we have here is Temporary Situation. I feel like this is just a reminder to you that your current circumstances, if you're unhappy in them, for example, it's a tent, so it almost makes me think of like a literal home. Like maybe you're very dissatisfied with where you're living right now. Maybe you can't afford to have your own place, so maybe you live with your parents, or maybe you have a bunch of roommates that you hate, or maybe you're not living in the location that you love. And what the universe wants you to know right now is this is temporary. Yes, it sucks. Yes, you're not where you want to be right now, but it is temporary. This is not forever. And if you start to have little fears crawling in the middle of the night and you're like, oh God, what if this is all I'm ever going to be able to afford? What if this is all that I'm going to ever be able to do? I want you to shut that down and say, first of all, say to yourself, I don't know what the future holds. Straight up, you do not know what the future holds. Second of all, like I said, you're guaranteed success. Success will come. And the situation that you're in right now, that you're dissatisfied in, that you want to move out of, maybe even physically move out of, it's just temporary. You're not going to be stuck here forever. The fact that you want to make a change, the fact that you are driven to reach for something better, proves to both me and you that you will not stay here forever. Because if you were content here, if you wanted to stay here, you would stay here. If you didn't, eventually you will move out of it. Now, it might not be now because maybe you don't have the means for it, but there will come a time where you will leave this current space in life behind. I promise you. Now, with the hammock card, and there was another card talking about this. Oh, it's the scales card, even though they're kind of far apart. I kind of feel like they're talking about a similar sort of thing. This isn't going to be what some of you want to hear, because I think for some of you, you have a big like hustle mindset. Like in order to reach your goals, you need to push yourself harder. You need to push yourself farther. You need to stay up longer. You need to run yourself more ragged. You need to think of ways that you can be more efficient, more productive. And what I want to tell you is, I already said it in the beginning. Things will happen in divine timing. But the best thing that you can do for yourself right now is take care of yourself. And so the thing that I think you're not going to want to hear is it's actually in your best interest to relax. It's in your best interest to focus more on having a work-life balance, emphasis on life. I think your default is, okay, I haven't reached my goals, so how can I work harder? How can I push myself harder? But I think what the universe is actually trying to show you here is it's in your best interest to actually take a vacation. Take some time off. You know, I'll give you an example in my life, right? So when you first start making YouTube videos, a lot of things that they'll tell you is quantity over quality, which is kind of backwards because everywhere else in life they tell you quality matters more than quantity. But when you first start YouTube, or I guess any kind of like creative thing where you're trying to put your work out there, it's important to have a backlog of a ton of videos so that when one finally, blows up and a bunch of people see it, you actually have a backlog of things for them to binge. Because if you have nothing, then it's like, okay, they saw the one video, but now there's nothing else for them to see of you. For me, I have now made, like 130 something videos, and I still have this part of me that's like, it's in my best interest to just keep churning them out. Like, how can I churn one out every day? How can I set things up so that I have videos scheduled so it's posting like 3 times a week, or posting even more than that? And I finally gotten to a point where it's like, I don't really need this absurd amount of quantity anymore. The thing that is most important at this point is quality. And so I'm asking myself, how can I best improve quality? Well, first of all, let's try to tone it down to 1 a week. And then also, let me focus on my own life and see what areas can I improve as a person? What areas can I be happier? What areas can I take care of myself? Because when I do these kinds of videos for you guys, if I'm not showing up as the best version of myself, you're probably not going to want to listen to it. And I'm also probably not going to have the best advice for you. But if I'm actively in my life trying to live better, be happier, trying to actually live out the things that I'm preaching to you, basically, that version of me is going to be way better for you and is going to make people like the videos even more. That's where the quality comes from. And I feel like for you, even though this may not be what you're doing exactly, the quality of what you're doing or what it is that you're trying to reach success in will come so much easier when you start giving back to yourself. When you start listening to your body, when you start listening to your emotions and saying, okay, how can I best show up for myself today? Every fiber of my being is saying, work harder, push yourself to the brink. But what's actually going to help me today? What is my body actually yearning for? Okay, it wants orange chicken. Let me get it some orange chicken because that'll make me a little happier. It'll give me some more energy. It'll make me feel like I can actually be more productive instead of trying to wake up at 6 in the morning and grinding your head off. It's a different perspective to look at. And I promise you, if you start listening to your body, maybe take a vacation, maybe decide, if you're self-employed, taking a week off. When is the last time that you actually took some time off for yourself and decided no work, no emails, just taking time to yourself? When's the last time that you did that? I think if you can allow yourself to do this and fully listen to your body and what it needs, you will walk away from that feeling so much more energized, so much, more mentally healthy and physically healthy. And that's going to allow you to put out the quality work that maybe you weren't able to do as well before because, maybe it was good, but it could have been great. So we talked about the importance of taking a vacation, having the work-life balance, emphasis on life. I already told you that success is guaranteed. I told you that the situation that you're stuck in right now that you're not happy with, it is temporary. It's not forever. And so the final 2 cards that we have here are the leg card and the barrel card. The leg card talks about stepping into a new experience. And when I look at this card, it almost makes me think of, it's not that your life is changing drastically, it's the way that you're deciding to live your life that's going to be changing drastically. Because whether you decide to or not, the universe or your body, whichever one comes first, is going to push you to make these changes that I'm talking about. Either you are going to hit a wall that the universe puts in front of you, or you are going to hit burnout, whichever one comes first. Or you can be the one that decides, you know what, I'm putting myself first. I am finding balance within myself. I am healing myself. I am giving my body and my mind what it needs. And so when I look at this leg card with stepping into a new experience, I'm imagining it's gonna be like night and day for you. Stepping away from this old lifestyle, and it'll be like taking off these goggles that were all foggy and now you can suddenly see clearly. Because I feel like for so long you have been working yourself to the bone where you have forgotten what it feels like to be alive. You've forgotten what it feels like to be fully energized, to feel passion in the morning when you wake up, to feel excitement, to feel the depths of creativity that you could feel. And I feel like if you can make these changes, start healing, start nurturing yourself, start looking for things outside of work and pushing yourself and stress that will actually make you feel nurtured and fulfilled. When you do that, it's like you're finally waking up. You finally have so much more energy and you will just feel more alive. Like, not only do I genuinely think that you taking a step back is actually pushing you further faster, I think it's just gonna make you a happier person overall. And it might seem counterintuitive, like, okay, stopping hustling means that we're gonna go further faster, but truly, I don't know what field you're in. I think if you're in a creative field, this is definitely going to apply to you, but even if it's not a creative field, even if it's like an office job, for example, something that I was thinking about the other day is the 4-day work week. Like, they say that if you work one less day a week, it allows workers to be much more energized, happier, and therefore more productive. To some people, that might seem like that's counterintuitive. You're working one less day. That's an entire day of work that's not getting done. But the other 4 days are so much more improved that it's actually the 5th day that would have been dragging them down more. And so I want you to really look at your life and think, maybe this break, maybe balancing my life, maybe giving back to myself, it's not taking away my hustle. It's not taking away my drive. In fact, it's giving me more energy to push myself further. I truly want you to view it that way. Because when I look at this leg card, it's almost like you stepping into a new version of yourself that can handle more, a new version of yourself that is more passionate, more creative, more powerful, because you're working with your body, not against it. Finally, with the barrel card, this card talks about you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money, or goals. I think that you definitely feel like you're lacking the money part. That's the part that you're so worried about not reaching the success in, right? But I think, a lot of times people are like, I'm just going to live when I'm 50 and I'm retired. I'm going to live 5 years from now when I finally have all my ducks in a row and I've reached all my goals. But what we have right now is the present. You may not be where you want to be yet, but you are alive right now. And you can't just say, you know what, I'm going to live later. I'll worry about getting into a relationship after I've reached success. I'm going to worry about traveling after I've reached my success. And okay, whatever order that you want to do things in. But you deserve to live right now. And I think, yes, you feel like you're lacking money, but I think if you looked at the rest of your life, you also feel like you're lacking love, you're lacking happiness, you're lacking passion. And those are things that you could give yourself right now. You may not have power over when the money comes in or when the success rolls in, but you do have power over whether or not you say no to a friend who's like, hey, let's go out on Friday night. Let's go out on Saturday night. You could say no because you're like, no, I need to focus on this thing. I need to be in this hustle mindset. All that's going to do is make you more tired, make you have less fun. You could, I don't know, maybe you catch the eye of somebody attractive in a coffee shop, but your mind's first thing is, I don't have time for a relationship. I don't have time to enjoy life right now. All you have is the present. Don't let this time pass you by because you've buried your head in the sand so much that you're like, I can only focus on work. I can only focus on getting this money. The people that wait until retirement to live often have the most regrets. And I don't want you to come to this channel and walk away being one of those people. Like, if I can change something about people's lives, I want them to live right now. I want them to live, even though they don't have the perfect, quote unquote, perfect, picturesque life. You don't have to have a perfect, picturesque life to have fun with your friends. There's this example that I used the other day about how people will buy kids all these like fancy toys and stuff like that. But I was watching my little cousin the other day, and you know what he did for like an hour? He just like picked up pebbles one by one and just dropped them into a storm drain. And like that was so fun for him. And I feel like we can learn so much from kids. We think we need the fancy car in the house, and yes, we do need a home. We need security. We need stability. But you can't tell yourself like, I can't live until I have that. You need to be able to find a way to live right now. You need to be able to find a way to live even in these temporary conditions that you're not really loving. And so I want to leave you with that. There actually is one final card that we have to get here, and it's the card that I talked a little bit about in the beginning. All right, so this card is number 8, Small Steps, Big Accomplishments, and it's about the turtle. So sea turtles or turtles in general could be a, what's it called, like a spirit animal or like a sign, synchronicity from the universe for you. So if after this you start seeing turtles a bunch, or maybe before this you started seeing turtles a bunch, it could be the universe trying to send you this message. And so this one says, sea turtles migrate thousands of miles each year while swimming at a slow, methodical pace. The key medicine is that what you wish to manifest will take dedicated, consistent, and patient effort. Land Turtle reinforces this message about the slow process towards your desire, further speaking to us about how grounded this point of view is. Nothing represents being grounded quite like the Land Turtle, built sturdy and close to Mother Earth. Small, consistent efforts will lead to long-lasting success. Be patient. Do not rush for immediate rewards. Understand that immediate gratification cannot sustain what is needed for long-term success. Shortcuts yield short-term success, and instant gratification is for the weak mind. Sea turtle is not instantly born in the sea, swimming towards his goal. He first must build his muscles by slowly breaking out of his shell and journeying towards his desire to be in the great sea. Allow things to develop at their own pace and plan for a lengthy dedication toward your goal. This is a very promising card as it speaks to happy results. You are building something great, and its full fruition needs time. Turtle's medicine shares that slow and steady efforts are of the most importance to you. Something powerful is in development. What is built slowly stands longer. And something actually that I was thinking of before I started your reading is Rome was not built in a day. I know that's a pretty common statement, but I really want you to take that in your own life. If you think, if you're trying to build an empire, trying to build a small business, or just trying to find success in day-to-day life, Rome was not built in a day. Your success will not be built in a day. But if it's something that you care about, if it's something that you want to last long, it needs to be something that you put a lot of effort into over a long period of time. And that's not a bad thing. It just means that it's going to take some time, but it will happen in divine timing when it is in your best, highest good. So, pile 1, that is everything that I have for you. I truly, truly wish you the best along your path. I hope that this brought you a little bit more certainty. I hope that this brought you some clarity on what you're going through. But that is everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Okay, pile 2. If you chose the clear quartz, then this is the reading for you. Now, I feel like for those of you that were drawn to this reading, your reactions could go one of 2 ways. The first way is disappointment, and or, yeah, this is what I expected, and, being glad to at least have an answer. Or the other half will be very upset by this and will want to deny it. So I want to say, if you are the latter half and you're not expecting this message and you don't like it, you don't need to claim it, all right? I seek to always give the truth in my readings, and sometimes that's not the truth that people want to hear, but it's the truth nonetheless. And so don't hate the player, hate the game. I am just I'm just channeling the message. I'm not the one giving it, if that makes sense. I'm not the one deciding what to give you. The cards are pretty random. But what I'm seeing here today is there is a person in your life, specifically a man, who could be your age or younger, who you thought was going to fulfill a wish in your life. Maybe this was romantic for some of you. For others, maybe this was somebody that promised to give you money, or to help you travel, or to help you find success in a business or something. Whatever it is, this person is not going to make good on their promises. This person is not going to be who you thought they would be. This person is not going to grant your wishes. And I think this person is really just going to be a big, fat disappointment, honestly. I wish I had good things to say about this person, but everything in the cards is quite negative. But I'm gonna do my best not to roast this person. But I think the main thing that you need to hear, because this reading is supposed to be about, what is going to bring you certainty. If you've been uncertain about this person, if you've been having conflicted feelings about them, if you've not been quite so sure, what are their intentions, or, he says one thing, but then he's doing a completely different thing. The truth is, this person only has themselves in mind. Whatever will help them achieve their goals. And maybe entertaining you brought them something. Maybe it brought them money, or maybe it made them feel attractive, or maybe it made them feel important, or maybe they quite literally stole from you. Whatever it was, I feel like this person, they spun a fairy tale to you of what they could offer, or what the two of you could have together. But it was always just going to be about what they wanted. And once they got it, they were going to bounce. And I hate to break it to you that way, but I think it's better that you hear it now than getting crushed by it. And if you've already been crushed by it and now you're in the aftermath of it, I want to tell you, it's not your fault for wanting to believe in this person. It's not your fault for wanting to believe in the good of others. Or I especially want you to know there is nothing wrong with you. And I think some of you may have turned the knife towards yourself and thought, it's because I wasn't attractive, or it's because I wasn't good enough, or it's because I wasn't XYZ. And I want you to know this has nothing to do with you. And you are not the first person that this person has treated this way. And so what I want you to know is the only person that you should be upset at is them. Whoever this was, they only had themselves in mind. They only had their selfish desires and their selfish needs in mind, and you were collateral damage. And I get the sense that there's a good majority of you that, especially if this was a romantic thing, and they used you, or, they got one over on you, I really don't want you to blame yourself. I don't want you to look in the mirror and say, is it because of this insecurity, or is it because of this thing, or maybe it's because I said this? It has nothing to do with you. This person is a rotten apple. And I don't think anybody is truly evil, but I think this person has been deeply hurt. They have gone through things in life that have turned them into this rotten apple, and I just want you to know, let me get this off at the beginning, it has nothing to do with you. So please do not blame yourself. Do not turn the knife on yourself. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm seeing in the cards, but that is the most important message that I want to give to you. So, starting off, the reason I feel so strongly about this is because the first two cards that came out, these two cards came out together, is the Rooster card, which talks about an arrogant or boastful person you should not cross, and then the Younger Man card, dealings or relationships with a younger man. Like I said, I think this man could be either your age or slightly younger. And when I see the Rooster card, how it says an arrogant, boastful man you should not cross, if you have a grudge against this person, hear me when I say this. Pay attention to this part. Do not try to cross this person. Do not try to play that game of, oh, you hurt me, so now I'm going to hurt you. Or you did this, so now I'm going to find a way to get back at you. I know that you are probably very hurt or upset at this, but I think if you continue to entertain this person, and when I say entertain, I even mean like trying to get back at them, trying to maintain any connection with them, it's like trying to fist fight boiling water. You're just gonna keep getting burnt. I wish that you could get back at this person. I wish that you could get back. I truly wish that you could get one over on them. You can't even see me, but I've got my hand over my eyes and I'm just like holding my head because I'm so frustrated for you. I wish you could get revenge. I wish that was the best option in this case, but truly, I think the best thing that you can do in this situation is ghost. Just full distance. Don't entertain them. If they reach out, if they say things, if they make fun of you or they talk about you online, don't even say anything. Don't even look at it. Don't even pay it any mind. Because truly, the more you engage with this person, like I said, it's like trying to fist fight boiling water. It is only going to increase the anger, the aggression, it's only going to make things worse. I don't think that there's anything that can be good of, reaching out to this person, trying to maintain connection. Or maybe you feel the need to get closure and talk to them. This person's not going to give you closure. This person is a rat. I think you actually, you have the rat card. I wasn't even looking down when I said that. The rat card talks about somebody working against you or behind your back. This person does not know how to be loyal. This person does not know how to care about anything or anyone other than themselves. And so you trying to be mature, you trying to be the emotionally mature one and saying, hey, maybe we can talk this out. This person would take that opportunity to say, okay, what is the best way I can stab them in the back? There is not an ounce of honesty or goodness to this person at this current point in time. I do believe in redemption. I believe that people can change. Right now, they have not changed. I think the best thing that you can do, let me say it over and over again, the best thing that you can do is just distance yourself from them. Like, it sucks that they turned out to be this way. Honestly, okay, take this with a grain of salt, but the word that just came to mind is narcissist. I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I cannot diagnose people. I don't even know this person. I'm just channeling. But the word that came to mind when I'm thinking about this person is narcissist. And from what I've heard about narcissists and stories, they're the kind of person that truly cannot put anybody above themselves. They're truly the kind of person that cannot see anybody on their level except themselves. And no matter how emotionally mature you try to be, no matter how well crafted your response is, it does not matter. That is the truth of it. And I think this is the kind of person that maybe in the beginning they love bombed you. Maybe they gave you a bunch of presents. Maybe they tried to make it seem like they cared so much about you. They tried to make it seem like you were their world. It was all fake. I hate to say it, with the broken wishbone card, I think you really got your hopes up with this person. I think you saw them as, this is my wish fulfillment. This is the person I've been trying to manifest. This is the ideal person for me. I really want you to know it was all an illusion. It was all a lie. And I say that not to make you feel disheartened or say like you're not worthy, because you are worthy of a good person. This is not that person. And I don't want you to look back and think, but what if I said this? It was not your fault. This person is a bad apple through and through. And everything that they promised, everything that they tried to show you was all an illusion. This is not a good person. Like, I've never felt so strongly about this. Like, this is just, like, I'm speechless. Now, finally, you have the card talking about the month of July. Now, take this as it resonates for you. I don't exactly know what happened in July. Maybe you're watching this in July. Maybe whatever happens between the two of you happened in July or will happen in July. But I'm just going to leave that there. The month of July could be very important to you. Maybe they were born in July. Maybe you were born in July. I think July is the month of Cancer. I would know because I'm a Cancer. But I don't know what the latter half of the month is. I only know about Cancer. I know June is Leo, I think. But I'm just trying to put out signs in case you or them or both of you are one of those signs. And finally, the candle card says you will be shown the way. So I think the good thing out of all of this that I want you to know is you are divinely guided and divinely protected. You will be shown the best way out of this by spirit and by your intuition. I think if there's any uncertainty that you have or any feelings that are unresolved, I want you to just sit and listen to your intuition instead of maybe asking friends like, what should I do in this situation? Or obsessing with yourself over like, should I have said that? Should I have done this? Or what's the best thing I can do? I think the best thing that you can do is sit back and let the universe work for you. The universe will remove this person from your life when they are meant to be removed. The universe will show you the right direction to go in. And I truly believe everything happens for a reason. Even though this person was a terrible person and maybe really screwed you over, I want you to know this happened in your best interest. And it may not seem like it at first, but truly, as time goes on, when you can zoom out and look at the big picture, you'll look at, oh, you know what? Because of that led to this thing, which led to this thing, and now life is great. And I want to say it's not going to seem like that right now, but if there's anything that you can be grateful for, in this time of feeling like you don't want to be grateful for anything. I want you to be grateful for the fact that the universe has a plan for you and everything does happen for a reason, and you are being divinely guided and protected, even though it might not seem like it. Even though you might be like, God, why universe are you giving me these lessons? Why did you put this person in my path so they could hurt me? I want you to know that there's a higher reason that has yet to be revealed. It might not seem like it right now, but if there's no light in this situation for you, I want you to have light in that belief, if that makes sense. So finally, I want to talk about this immense growth card, number 15. I think it's a picture of a turkey. Turkeys could be no, it's a vulture. Vultures could be an important sign to you. Also the number 15. But I'm going to go ahead and read this for you. So, number 15, immense growth. Vulture comes to speak to us about the wisdom of the sacredness of suffering. In Buddhism, the first noble truth is that all life involves suffering. It is not something to be escaped, but to be accepted. Only when we accept this law of our existence are we able to transmute and grow from suffering. Vulture sustains her life by living off that which is dead. She does not interfere by bringing a quicker death to her prey. Instead, she allows it to endure what it must, and its suffering ends in its natural time. This mirrors back to us the importance of patience. There is a profound lesson in the name of the turkey vulture. Cathartes aura, meaning golden purifier. They indeed purify the landscape by removing decomposing carcasses that could spread disease and harmful bacteria. In the same way vulture cleanses the land, suffering purifies the heart from and removes the veils of ego. Suffering comes in two forms. Both are meant for growth. The first form is inflicted upon us and out of our control. The second form is self-inflicted, created from the attachments and illusions of our ego. Whatever form your own suffering takes, you must first accept it. When we resist the pain, when we resist aspects of ourselves we do not like, when we resist rejection, we perpetuate self-inflicted suffering. It is only when we accept it that pain begins to do what it's meant to do, transform us. This is the genius alchemical property behind acceptance. It transmutes. Vulture's medicine asks you to understand that pain, suffering, and trauma hold an energetic power. It is your choice whether to allow that power to attack you or to transmute its energy into your greatest asset. If you choose the latter, within you a hidden gift will be revealed far greater than all your pain. So pile 2, that is where I'll leave you. I think given that passage, I can tell that this situation has caused a great amount of pain for you. You know, whatever it was, whether it was romantic, whether it was a business partner, a friend, whatever they promised to you. I feel like that wish being broken, that wish being unfulfilled, caused a great amount of pain to you. But I really want you to hear that passage, maybe listen to it over again and take away the lessons that it is trying to teach you. Pain sucks, but pain can also be one of our greatest teachers, and I think the version of you that is going to come out of this is going to be brighter, more beautiful, and stronger than ever before. And I want you to at least have that to look forward to. So I'll leave you there. I really hope that this reading brought you some certainty. I hope that it brought you the clarity that you needed. I truly wish you the best in this situation. It might not be easy to let go, but I hope in time you can look back on this and you can laugh at the audacity of this person and hopefully take away something good from it. But that is everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Alright, pile 3, last but certainly not least, if you chose the Tiger's Eye, then this is the reading for you. And I've been sitting here now for quite a bit just staring at your cards, trying to understand what's going on, because in pile 1 and pile 2, their readings were very cohesive. It was like uncertainty about a very specific thing, and then here's the specific answer, here's the specific thing that will bring you certainty to that thing that you're uncertain about. For you, it just feels like life is like a confusion tornado. There's not one thing that you're uncertain about. It's more so there's just no certainty. I truly feel like life for you just feels a little bit chaotic. It feels like you're not very grounded, like you don't really have a lot of confidence in your decisions. And so that's why I couldn't really see, what is the cohesive meaning here. But I'm going to give you what the cards are talking about, because each one is like, here's a little area of life that you can hold down the fort in. Like I'm almost imagining each of these cards is a sandbag, and like your life is like a tent, and it's like, here's a sandbag, place it in that corner. Here's a sandbag, place it in that corner, so that the tornado doesn't like blow away the tent, basically. So what we have here, I'll start off with the kangaroo card and the coins card. I'll also say, like, right before your reading, I was feeling like really anxious, and even now, like, I feel a little bit out of breath, like I'm moving too quickly. Like, I want you to ask yourself, when's the last time that you just sat down and you were able to relax? Like, just breathe. I think one thing that might be able to help you is finding a practice that allows you to settle your body and settle your mind. For some people, that looks like meditation and breath work. For other people, it looks like yoga. For other people, it looks like going to a junkyard and beating up a bunch of junk. Like, I don't know, do whatever helps you feel like you're releasing energy from your system, like you're expelling energy from your body. Sometimes running really helps, especially if you got a bunch of pent-up energy. Letting it out through exercise is something that could greatly benefit you, especially if you feel like you can't get clear-headed, you can't focus yourself. Finding some way to get back into your body is going to help a lot. But like I said, let's start off with the kangaroo card and the coins card. The kangaroo card talks about unsettled times and needing to plan ahead. I think when you feel like your life is chaotic, like you're in a tornado, the last thing that you want is to not have a cushion of financial stability. Now, I'm not saying that you're necessarily going to be going through a time of financial instability, but I think the best thing that you can do for yourself is to at least not have to worry about it. So when I look at the coins card, it talks about money will be coming to you. Like I said, you're not going to be financially unstable. But with the kangaroo card, it talks about needing to plan ahead. Something that I think can ground you and help you feel a little bit more secure is if you have been wanting any like expensive bag or clothes, or you've been thinking about making a big purchase, I'd say maybe put it off until a time where you feel more emotionally stable. Just because you have financial stability doesn't mean that you need to throw away that financial stability right now, especially if life is kind of going crazy. I think there's just this sign here of putting money into savings, beefing up that financial safety cushion, instead of like if you've been thinking about getting a new car, or you've had your eye on this purchase, it's like a couple $100 or $1,000. I think instead of purchasing that thing, take that couple $100, take that $1,000, put it into savings. I'm not necessarily saying that you're going to need to use it, but it's a good just in case thing. I really get the sense that right now is not a good time in your life to be spending willy-nilly, especially if maybe you buy that thing and you realize, why did I buy this? I don't actually really need it, and then that money's kind of gone. Maybe wait a little bit. It kind of makes me think about like tattoos, how there's something that you can't really undo. And I personally, I like to I'll take a screenshot of the kind of tattoo I want, and I leave it in my photos for a year, and then I get it. If I had just got it on a whim, I might realize, oh man, I actually don't really like this thing. I kind of wish that I hadn't done this. I think it's the same thing for you right now, but spending-wise, like maybe let's just sit on this idea for a little bit. Do you really need that new car? Do you really need that new bag? Do you really need those expensive clothes or this jewelry? I'll just leave you with that. Up next, we have the May card and the Lily talking about spiritual love. This, to me, is really random. I'm actually not quite sure what it's talking about. I am filming this in the month of May. So if you're watching this in the month of May, I think May could be an important month for you. Specifically, an important month to really delve deep into your spirituality, specifically your spiritual health. For some people, you believe in chakras. For other people, you believe in like Reiki healing or sound healing. Whatever you believe in, I think you would benefit greatly from spiritual healing of some kind. And whatever that looks like for you, it's truly up to you what you believe in and what you want to do. Some people like sound healing. Some people like Reiki. I mean, I've tried it all. I personally like to do chakra meditations. But I think finding a way to ground yourself and be more in tune with your intuition is something that's really going to help. Like I said, each of these things is like a sandbag you can put in the corner of your tent so that the whole thing doesn't blow away. Start off with the financial safety blanket, or safety cushion. Up next, maybe focus a little bit on your spiritual healing. Maybe you can't control the tornado that is ravaging your life right now, but something that you can control is like go out and exercise, maybe meditate a little, maybe get more in tune with your intuition, find ways to ground yourself, especially in the month of May. Like I said, if you're watching this right when I'm filming this, it could be that the month of May is going to be really hectic for you, and it's a good time to focus on yourself and your spiritual health. Now, if you're not watching this near the month of May, I'll say, oh my god, I'm literally blanking. I had the idea in my head and it just got like zapped from my mind. You could be dealing with brain fog or like that kind of issue where you have really bad memory loss. You should look into ways that you can deal with brain fog and think maybe of what could be causing your memory loss. Or, not saying you're having memory loss in a bad way, but if you have a hard time clearing your head and getting your thoughts straight, something that might help is journaling or having more of a detailed schedule, or like just carrying around a notebook or like to-do list. Something that specifically helps me is like I cannot remember things for the life of me, and like if I just try to keep it in my head, I'm gonna forget about it. So I literally write everything down. I have an app called Notion. It's a great note-taking app. I highly recommend get something like that. Find some way to get things out of your head and onto something that you can recall back later. Because if you try to hold it all in, it's going to feel even more chaotic in your head. Find ways of taking things out of your head and putting them out onto something else. It could also look like maybe you like to sing, or maybe you like to rant aloud to yourself when you're in a car, or that's kind of what journaling does, just in a different way. Getting things out of your head onto paper. But like I said, I'm trying to remember, if you're not near the month of May, it could be somebody like born in May will be important in helping you. Maybe like they're a Reiki healer. I don't know. Or May is also the month of like Taurus. Maybe when I think of Taurus, I think of somebody who's very grounded. It's an earth sign, so somebody connected to the earth. Maybe going out in nature could really help you. Taking walks in nature, being somewhere quiet. If you're the kind of person that you like to constantly have music in your ears, maybe it might help if you actually take a break from that for a while and just be in silence. It's like if you're already in a tornado, trying to put metal on and like listen to that is just going to be even more chaotic. So I'm not saying that music can't help, but finding ways to clear your head is going to be really important for you at this time. Now up next we have handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. And then the basket card, recognition and reward for merit. This makes me think more about like your career or like what's going on in your life. I feel like you have this feeling of like what you've done with your life is something that people haven't really taken notice of, or maybe haven't taken it seriously, or maybe you just haven't really found the recognition that you've wanted. I want to say that will be coming. This card talks a lot about you finally getting the recognition. When I look at the basket card, it actually makes me think of like when people send you gift baskets. You could be receiving something in the mail, like I don't know why I'm getting like fan mail coming to mind, or maybe you do something online, it's like you get an influx of comments, or like somebody reaches out and they're like, oh my gosh, I love this thing that you do, or maybe it's like a coworker reaches out and it's like, hey, thank you so much for doing this thing, like you're really making it a lot easier on me to be able to do my job. It just looks like, I don't know why you need to hear this. Maybe a part of like your stress and confusion in life is also pertaining to feeling like you're not getting recognized for what you're doing. I want you to know, even if you don't physically get something in the mail, for example, I want you to know there are people that are recognizing the good in what you're doing, that are really appreciating what you're doing, and they're cheering you on from the sidelines, even if they're not physically cheering you on, if that makes sense. Like, for example, on YouTube, there's a lot of people that really enjoy videos. They watch them all the way through, and those videos have a profound impact on their life. But maybe they just don't leave a like, or they don't leave a comment. that creator is never gonna know what kind of impact that they had. All they're gonna see is there's +1 view. So for example, you in your life, whatever it looks like, you might have that metaphorical +1 view, and you'll never know just how much somebody loved what you put out or loved what you did or how much of an impact you had on them. But I want you to know, even if you didn't get that like or that comment or that gift basket or that award of recognition, I want you to know there are people out there that are really loving what you're doing and really appreciating it. And up next, with the handshake card, a meeting with a stranger could be important. I think this is a great time to rely on the help of others. And I get the sense that there's going to be somebody who maybe you don't know them super well, but they're really going to come in clutch, like offering to help with something. I wish I could give you more details on what it is, but I'm almost getting this image coming to mind of like a coworker that you don't really speak to very often, who just like, they offer to take like some emails off your hand. I don't know, that's just a random example. It doesn't need to be like that, but I get the sense that there could be somebody random coming into your life that maybe you're not all that close with, but when they offer to give you a little bit of help, I really want you to accept it. Now, if it's something that's like you really prefer to have your hands on it and you don't want them to be a part of it, that's okay. But what I am saying is it could really benefit you to allow others into your life to help take a little bit of a load off of you. I think for a long time you've just been trying to do things on your own, been going at it alone, and it would seriously help with this like tornado storm that you're feeling in your head if you have somebody else to carry some of the burden, if that makes sense. And so finally, we're going to be talking about this card, the Abundance card, number 9, and I'm going to read from the guidebook for you. All right, so number 9, this is the Bowhead Whale card. So whales could be an important sign for you. Also the number 9. The number 9 in numerology often talks about the ending of something, end of a cycle when you're about to hit a death and then rebirth. Death can sound scary, but sometimes it's about just, leaving behind an old chapter and starting something new. So the number 9 could be a sign that you are ending a cycle that you've been in, ending a chapter of your life that you've been in, and you're about to start a new one. So, number 9. To survive, bowhead whale must be in flow with the currents of the ocean, where its main source of food lives. When a team is migrating through the Arctic waters, the lead bowhead will often break through the ice to create a hole that the following whales will use to breathe. Bowhead whale comes to ask you to be in harmony with the flow. The flow is the path of least resistance. It is allowing that which is bigger than yourself to guide you. This card reveals that something greater is clearing the way for a time of relief. You are in alignment with the flow where abundance follows. This abundance is revealed to you as your true self. You're being asked to release your negative thinking and worry. Rest assured that whatever is currently bringing discord or angst will soon dissipate. I know I'm interrupting in the middle here, but I was really getting this thought while I was reading this passage that in this current time that may feel very chaotic to you, the best thing that you can do is just be in the flow. Like if you think about the imagery of a tornado, I'm almost imagining your first thought is how I can best get out of this tornado is like run the other way, is like force myself out of it, expend all my energy fighting the wind. When in fact, I think the best thing that you could do is just like let the tornado pick you up and throw you where it needs to throw you. It might not be comfortable. It will probably actually be very uncomfortable. But the best thing that you can do is not fight the flow, especially when I've been using like this tornado imagery. The best thing that you can do is let the universe guide you, allow things to happen as they will, and just not try to fight and like run in the opposite direction where you will want to go. I think things will calm down in time. I just saw the biggest bird. I wish I knew what it was. Maybe it's a sign for you. It's actually ginormous. Anyways, what was I saying? The best thing that you can do for yourself is wait until things calm down to start taking control of your life. Like I said, the best thing that you can do right now is just put down the sandbags and weather the storm. You're in the middle of the storm. The best thing you can do is hunker down, let it pass, go with the flow. Then once things are calmed down, then you can start picking up the pieces, taking control, rebuilding. But you can't try to rebuild in the middle of a storm, or else things are just going to get knocked down again and it's going to make you exhausted. You know what I mean? It's going to be an uncomfortable time, but you will make it through, and this is temporary. So continuing with what the whale card talks about. It says, let go. Holding on to worry is resisting the state of flow. When we trust life and surrender, we work and flow. When we work and flow, we channel, which means to allow the universe to self-express through us. In these magical moments of inspiration, we allow the universe to actualize using us as the vehicle. This is bliss, as we transcend the superego and are one with the ultimate oneness. This is where we realize our true self, which is ultimate abundance. Bowhead whale's medicine suggests prayer as a gateway to channeling. Ask the universe what you can do for it, and not what it can do for you. What comes next is better than what you could wish for. So, pile 3, that is where I'll end your reading. I truly wish you the best, and I want you to know what you're going through right now. It might seem chaotic, it might seem scary and stressful, but it is temporary. I think the best thing that you can do for yourself right now is focus on healing, focus on giving back to yourself, focus on getting out of your mind, back into your body, and focus on, what's the best way to just hunker down, be in the flow, and not fight against what's going on right now, because like I said, fighting against a tornado is kind of futile. You just got to go with the flow and wait until it passes, and then you can pick things up. But that is where I'll leave you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.